There is a Wisconsin school district that is now backtracking because they posted a really horrible job ad for a new superintendent. Let me back up for a second. This is happening in the Cedar Grove-Belgium School District. It's in Sheboygan County, Wisconsin. And a lot of this information comes from really excellent reporting from Corinne Hess of Wisconsin Public Radio. And basically, what happened is this: a potential applicant saw this opening for a new superintendent of the school district, was very interested in the job opening and wanted to she was thinking about applying. So she looks through the application and they have like a 16-page like job description saying, if you're interested in being the superintendent of this public school district, here are the things you need to know about the district and about the students and the school board and all that. It's very typical stuff for a large school district. And she was reading through the application here, or the information, and then she noticed something very weird. So she sent an email to a retired superintendent friend of hers and is like, hey, I saw this. This is weird, right? And that retired superintendent is like, yeah, that's very weird. And that retired superintendent sent it to the district and I think informed Wisconsin Public Radio about it. But here is the thing she found. And I'm going to show you this screenshot because this is kind of all we have to show. Here we go. Oh, give me 1 second here to make sure I'm pulling it up correctly. Here we go. This is from Wisconsin Public Radio. What this is a screenshot of something in that job report application. And you could see these are desired characteristics of the next superintendent as identified by the school board. And basically I'm going to back up for a second. There was a consulting firm. A lot of big school districts, when they're looking for a new superintendent, they might hire an outside firm saying, we're looking for a new superintendent. You don't post that on like whatever job website it is. You go to a consulting firm and you say, we need a new superintendent. This is your expertise. Can you help us find someone who fits our district? And that consulting firm comes in, you pay them a lot of money. They come in, they say, well, we want to talk to the students about what they want. We want to talk to the community members about what they want. We want to talk to the staffers and the school board. And once we have all that information, we're going to put it together and put together a profile of your district. We will put up the job listing to all the school superintendent applicants, candidates out there. And we'll say, hey, think about applying for this job. This is what they're looking for. Is that you? You should apply. And in that job application that they eventually posted online, this is the focus group. They conducted a focus group, several of them, like a dozen of them. And they said, this is what the school board is looking for. And if you look through this list, these are very sensible things you would expect. Like, what does the school board want in a new superintendent? Family-oriented, down-to-earth, approachable, values relationships, is present in the... every single school district wants this stuff. But when you're looking through this is what that potential applicant noticed. What's this above my head? Conservative politically and fiscally. I do get conservative fiscally, like you don't want a superintendent who's going to waste money in your school district. But what is this all about? You got to be conservative politically? What? You have to vote for Trump if you want to be the superintendent of this district? That's weird. But wait, it gets worse, because if you scroll down, and again, most of this stuff is fine. Look at this. You must match the makeup of our community. Conservative. Christian values. What is that? What does that mean? What does it mean that you have to have Christian values? And I get that might be a synonym for you got to be a good person, but that's not what it says. It says you got to have Christian values. And if you're reading that, you might think, well, I'm Jewish. Does that mean I don't have Christian values? What if you're Muslim? Does that mean you don't have conservative Christian values? What's with that description? And Wisconsin Public Radio, those are the ones who highlighted this phrase, because that's the one that kind of tipped off the applicant who's like, hey, superintendent friend of mine who's retired, this is weird, right? And in fact, as soon as she saw that retired superintendent contacted the school district. And where is the thing she wrote here? She wrote, I have this all pulled up. Here we go. This is what that superintendent sent to the school district. Here we go. Help me understand how a public school district can legally limit its hiring to people who are Christians, she wrote in an email obtained by Wisconsin Public Radio. My mentee is not a Christian and is frankly gobsmacked that a public school district can blatantly and prejudicially flout the law. And yeah, fair point. You should be angry about that because that is messed up. Now, she wrote that not just to the school district, but to the person at the consulting firm who was in charge of the hiring. And that guy wrote back very quickly and basically said, yes, that was a mistake. And tell me if you buy this excuse, because part of me says it's plausible. What this guy basically said is we conducted 12 different focus groups with students, with community members, with staff, with everybody. And he said, and you might have seen this if you saw that Tim Robinson sketch where the guy's like, he admitted, like when you do a focus group, some people might say really stupid things. And it's the job of the person conducting the focus group to say, I hear you. I am writing down your idea and I will take it back with me. And that's how focus groups are supposed to go. There are no bad ideas. You toss out your ideas. We want to hear what you want. But then it is the consulting firm's job to go back and say, okay, but that one was a really dumb idea, so we're not going to include that. And what this guy from the consulting firm said is, yeah, we did the focus groups. That was one of the opinions of a community member, but that should not have made it into the leadership profile report. That should not have been in the application or the information that we were putting out there. And part of me wants to believe that. That is a very, realistic thing that they could have done. However, I just want to go back and remind you that the thing I was showing you here, this is not like desired characteristics of the community. These are the desired characteristics as identified by the school board. This is what the school board members said they wanted in a superintendent. You can't pawn this off on some idiot who lives in the community. So I don't know if I buy that explanation. So there's that. Now, I will say they have since, the consulting firm, they put up a brand new profile document. And if I'm looking at that one, I can see, hey, check this out. This is the updated desired characteristics as identified by the school board. And you could see, look at this right here, fiscally responsible. Yeah, fiscally responsible. It does not say be conservative politically and fiscally. And then that whole section about you got to match like the makeup of the community with your conservative Christian values does not say that. They deleted that from the list. And it says this instead: similar values to the community. And honestly, I don't know if I like that. I think that's very vague because sometimes the community's stupid. Like, I hate it every time a politician's like, voters are smart. They'll do the right thing. No, voters are idiots. Your job is to be the smart one and make the smart decisions. So this idea, you got to have similar values to the community. If you're an applicant, a candidate for this job, you don't know the community yet. If these are all like MAGA-loving anti-science people, maybe you don't want to share their values because it's the job of a superintendent to make everyone better and smarter and to make the district a better, smarter place. So I don't know what that means. You should have similar values to the community. As far as we know, this community has some very dumb people in it because we saw what they said in the past. So, but okay, they updated it. They removed the problematic sections, so I guess that's okay. Actually, the school board president told Wisconsin Public Radio something about this too. He said, let me share this with you so you could see it. Hoopman, the school board president, told Wisconsin Public Radio he realizes publicly listing Christian as a desirable characteristic by school board members would give candidates the impression that they would not be considered if they were not that religion. That is why the search firm chose to remove that comment. Yeah, I know, but also that's a characteristic the school board members said they wanted. You're on the school board. What the hell? How come no one's addressing that? Hoopman did go on to say there are no recordings of the focus groups, including apparently the one he was a part of. So that's convenient. Again, if this was a mistake, fine. They corrected it. They moved on. I don't love these explanations they're giving because they're not addressing a lot of stuff here. And also, here's what I want to know from that school board president. What does he think the problem is? Is the problem that they included the word Christian and that non-Christians might not want to apply for the job? Or is the problem that Christian was considered a desirable trait because he thought it was a synonym for moral? Because that's a problem. And what about the reference to politically conservative, which none of them are talking about? Like, I kind of want to know the answers to that. Again, obviously, a public school district cannot have a religious prerequisite or preference for a new superintendent. The ACLU of Wisconsin told Wisconsin Public Radio they are investigating the matter. Wisconsin Public Radio said, oh, I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. Den, see if you can make a time marking of what just happened and I'll get rid of that. Come back, me. There we go. What I was going to say is Wisconsin Public Radio also said they filed an open records request to see if they could dig into all correspondence relating to the superintendent search. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's my internet. I am not sure, but I'm sorry about that. I hope this is still working. I think it is. Last week, the school board actually was supposed to bring all the finalists who they were thinking about hiring for this job to like a community town hall so all the people could meet them, ask them questions. And this is what they have now posted on the school's website. Like you could see, this was an invitation to community to meet the candidates, and you could see it's now been postponed. And look at the reason they give at the bottom here. Due to a shift in timeline in the hiring process, the Board of Education has made the decision to postpone the day in the district event. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. And one last thing I will show you is that a local newspaper posted this on Facebook. The Cedar Grove-Belgium School District is continuing its search for its next superintendent. The first round of candidates didn't closely enough match the profile determined by the district. So basically, they're saying, yeah, they had the first round of candidates. We didn't like any of them. So they're kind of starting over from scratch, which again, I would say this is not a conspiracy. This is the sort of thing that happens when you're looking for a superintendent. But given the controversy at this point, given the fact that maybe good applicants did not apply for the job because they thought they had to be Christian, maybe the candidates who did apply were like crazy MAGA people or something. I feel like the school district owes an explanation to the public as to what the hell's going on here. Like, I think they have an obligation to tell people very publicly, very clearly, that religious and political affiliations are irrelevant to their candidate search. They want to hire someone who cares about the kids and is not going to get sucked up into culture war battles. Basically, find someone who is the opposite of that guy, Ryan Walters in Oklahoma, the superintendent of the state's public education system, who turns everything into a culture war battle and treats all of education like his little fiefdom. And basically, they should hire someone whose leadership steers students and staff away from the knee-jerk thinking that Christian and conservative are somehow synonymous with morality. That's what they need. We'll see how this plays out.